Chloe from the future. Just in case you are easily triggered, please do not watch this video because it is about food and all that jazz. Day 4. Quite proud of myself for actually getting this far with it because I just usually just start something and don't finish. So, quote number 1 is faith can move mountains. Do not put yourself down for having a blip or having like a setback or a relapse or whatever, because it's not something that can be helped. I'm gonna go through some foods today that I believe are good, well, I've been told are good foods for me to have. Basically, I really struggle because, and I've not put these ones in, but I really struggle with actually doing like high calorie foods, I guess. I'm very much like I'll eat lots of little things and then get stressed because I feel like I've eaten so much instead of eating like one big thing and then feeling a little bit better about it. That's just how I am. Snacker Jacks, apples, that sort of stuff. So I'm not going to lie to you and say that everything that I'm about to show you or list is stuff that I eat at the moment. They're in the house for when I do feel brave enough to eat it. But at the minute, as I say, I'm still finding my bearings on recovery again. And then also my anaphylaxis has come back. So until we sort of know what's going on with that, or at least I have a week with no reaction, then I'm going to sort of steer away from some stuff. So this is like a day-to-day intake, I guess. So I do rely on these at the moment. This is prescribed by my doctor. They are just to really bump my calorie intake up because, and this isn't to be triggering for anyone. If it is, then please just skip the video. This is just to help me out because I'm not very reliable when it comes to food. I don't know. And drinking is easier, and essentially years ago this is what was agreed on instead of, you know, NG or whatever. So that's the first thing. Second thing, let's go with what I would go for next should I be in like a good mood. So I would probably go for this, again purely because it's safe for my brain. I'm thinking that Saturday I might challenge my fear foods. Not sure yet. So Frizzly bars, really, really good. And obviously it's got your oats in, it's got your like fruits in. It's just, I find quite a lot of stuff quite filling, and this isn't too filling in that sort of sense of things. So that's another good one. Now these I absolutely love. Like, I cannot stress how much I love these. However, this time round in recovery, I have only managed to buy them. I have not, as of yet, eaten one. As I say, that is because I am very much strict on what I eat still, very much rule book still. I don't understand the concept still. Well, I understand the concept of eating a higher calorie thing. It's just I'm not really capable of doing that. And the more I've lived with my anorexia, I guess the more the rule books got bigger for her, I guess. So that's the other thing I would go for. Now these I actually do go for quite a bit, which I'm quite shocked about. These are the Nature Valley protein bars. This one is the peanut and chocolate one, and it's got 10 grams of protein in. Now, I am terrible when it comes to protein, like absolutely horrific. I just don't have it. So like my Fortisips are 12 grams of protein, mainly because I just don't do protein. Like, because of how strict I am with rules, I really lack a lot of nutrients, and I'm really trying to break that, and that's with the help of my GP and my psychiatrist. So they're sort of like those ones. These are the best. This is also Nature Valley. I find Nature Valley one of the best companies or makes or whatever to do filling and also really substantial foods. So this one I will go for quite a lot if I am in a position where I'm like dizzy or have been dizzy for the day or like anything like that. As I say, I'm still learning to refeed, so it's quite difficult for me to break some boundaries out of like the fruit and the snack, like the approved recovery food, which at the end of the day is kind of defeating the idea of recovery. So I think I might challenge it all on Saturday. So that's that one. Brunch bars, these are to me a treat, which I need to break out of that habit. And basically they've got a bit of chocolate in, and it's quite I don't know, it's just quite nice to have occasionally. That's another one of my semi-safe foods. I'm only going through like semi-safe foods because I don't see any point in going over safe foods. I mean, this is not safe for me, this is absolutely terrifying, but I am having it purely because I know that that's in my best interest. Sorry, I am messing with my hair again. I just feel a bit today. So the next one are these, which are iced oatmeal cookies from Uncle Al's. Now these I have an obsession with American food, like I really do. It's a problem. So it's something that I think came into play years ago when I was first sick, because it wasn't something you could get in England very easily. And so it was sort of like, okay, well, I was always obsessed with America. I always have been. I am so sorry for the notifications. I've always been absolutely obsessed with America. So it was sort of like, okay, you can have it sort of thing. And I guess in a weird way, because I knew damn well I couldn't access it. Now you can access it, but I do go online and do orders when I feel brave enough, because I do really like American food. So yeah, I've got this. I've also got some oatmeal and raisin cookies, like they're grandma's or something, I don't know what they are, but they're also really nice, but they are harder for me to eat than the oatmeal cookies. These are also one of my favourites. I have not yet to brave those, I guess. So they are, oh, the other one that I will have are like digestive nibbles or hobnob nibbles. I guess because they're small, it's sort of just, I don't know, it makes me feel a little bit better psychologically with that. So these are the tea biscuits. They're from France. They're amazing. They're just very light, but also just amazingly tasty. And I don't know, I'm not going to go over what calories are in everything, because there's no point. This is the other one. I've actually had this in the house for I don't even know how long now. And as I say, addiction to American stuff. I do really like Hershey's. I mean, I'm a Cadbury's girl all over, but Hershey's, I love Hershey's. Like, given the option, I will go for Cadbury's or Hershey's. I don't like Aero. I don't like Galaxy. I like Galaxy. It's just not. Anyway, we'll leave the chocolate critique because you didn't ask for that. So that's what I have. And then when I am really brave, my grandma bakes amazing lemon cake, and I had a housewarming party last week, so there is a bit of cake in here that I've been trying to brave, but I think I will do at the weekend, purely because I braved a bit last weekend, and I find it easier to sort of brave things on the weekend when people are around me to support me and whatnot. So they're sort of my main go-to recovery foods, I guess, and like I find Fortisip's very hard to have, but also it soothes a lot of the stress. But again, don't go out of your way to have them, because as I was told, like, we don't want to rely on liquid calories. You've got to get in like proper food, otherwise you're gonna just not be capable of doing that. So that's basically my go-to that I've got in the house at the minute. I do have quite a lot of other things that I go for, but we've moved out, so my shopping skills are horrific. I don't tend to remember to go shopping, and when I do, I don't really buy too much stuff. But yeah, so basically that's sort of what I eat when I'm having like good days or semi-good days, and you know, I will brave quite a lot of these during the day purely because I have to get my calorie intake in. I find hummus quite good and things like that. I also do like crumpets, and oh, the other thing I do is my breakfast. I tend to microwave 2 Weetabix, and then I put like desiccated coconut on and ground almonds on, and then I put, so I microwave that, then I put some raisins in, stir it, microwave it again, sprinkle a tiny bit of oats because oats terrify me, sprinkle a tiny bit of them on the top, and then is that all I do? Oh, and then sometimes I'll put like a little bit of Special K on the top as well, which I think is a really substantial breakfast, especially because again, it's a food group that I really lack in is carbohydrates. So I find that a really helpful breakfast, and yeah, it's just really nice. Sometimes I just make things and I'm surprised that they work, but they do. So that's basically today's video. I've been a little bit like I don't really know what to do because I've only had like a day to think about each video. So this actually was Josh's idea, this one. So thank you, darling. So basically tomorrow I'm thinking maybe go over some of the myths around eating disorders, because I know I touched on them in the first video, but I don't think I made it clear. So that's a possibility. Or going over like my own personal journey in brief, because it's long. And Saturday I'm thinking either Josh takes over my food for the day, or I do my fear foods, and vice versa with Sunday. Now, does it last until Sunday? I don't know. Anyway, so that's basically where we are at the minute. So to close the video, the pride in continuing your journey is greater than the comfort of retreating. It's so easy to retreat and have that comfort blanket there, but it's just not worth it. Like, imagine the pride you get. I mean, this absolutely terrifies me, and sometimes it can take me all day to have. But when I actually have it, the pride I have in the fact that I've completed it is like, I can't even explain it. When I have a day where I've like, say if I had like this and then like this and like a substantial breakfast and maybe like chocolate or something, they're the days that I am so proud of myself, even though I'm terrified at the same time. So yeah, basically that's today's video. I'll see you guys tomorrow.